This year, the MHS band is going to be run a little bit differently. From students having to practice outside, socially distanced, to half the class being online and practicing through Google Meet. We talked to Mr. Gallagher and students both in hybrid learning and all virtual to hear about their thoughts on the upcoming professionally recorded concert and what it's like being in band and playing your instrument during the coronavirus pandemic. What's it like having to play while social distancing?
The social distancing adds a layer to band that we haven't had to deal with before, because usually the students, you want them to be as close together as possible in their sections so they can listen to each other and work together. And now all the students are spread out with at least 6 feet distance in between them, so it can be really hard for the students to listen to each other across the ensemble.
I mean, I'm glad that we can continue to play as a band, but it's more difficult because we have to take all of our equipment outside, and that half of our band is gone because they're in the other cohort, so it sounds less full.
Playing in a band is social distancing. It can sometimes be challenging because you're so used to being really close to these musicians, and you're always told to listen across the band to, like for me, I played the clarinet, I'm told to listen down to the tuba, and sometimes it can be a challenging experience because the tuba is so far away from me.
It's a little weird. Definitely weird from what I've known. I'm a senior now. I've been playing in band for 4 years, and it's just a lot different than what I'm used to. But nothing I can't do, nothing I can't adjust to.
What's it like having band practice outside?
Having class outside is something that we need to do in order to have good airflow and take away some of the aerosols that might be coming out of the instruments. So all the brass students have bell covers on their instruments that prevent particles from coming out of the bell. And then the school has actually provided me with a mobile hotspot, so I can take it outside and I can run virtual class out on the football field with my computer as if we were, inside, and I can still have access to all the technologies that we would normally have.
Adapted naturally, more so. It's pretty much the same format. It's just in a different environment.
It's definitely a lot colder, so sometimes we'll have to bring out coats and hats and gloves, and you really have to take the weather into account when playing outside.
What's it like having to practice virtually?
When we're running band class, we have some students are in person and some students are at home on their computers, which is a little bit, crazy to think about. So the kids in front of me are playing all together, while all of the virtual students are playing along at home with their computers muted. So I can only see what they're doing. I can't actually hear what any of the students at home are doing.
Doing it virtually is a very different experience because the band director can't hear you because everyone has their microphones muted, so you're not really getting that feedback on how you might be playing at home if we were in school.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, it's a bit of a challenge not being able to be in person and hear everybody playing around you, but I think like Google Meet has come pretty far, and being able to practice with everybody and still have a band experience and still be able to make music with the class.
Harder to focus, but being at home, I have more time go over stuff myself, practice by myself, go over what I need to.
Practicing virtually, you have to pay a lot more attention because the sound comes distorted through the microphone. There's lag that comes through the speakers. It's hard to look at Mr. Gallagher conducting on the screen that's next to me and looking at my music at the same time.
It's both good and bad. I'd say it's easier so that I can hear myself as an individual, so I can critique myself, but it's hard because then again we're not with the band, and it sounds better with the band as well.
It's definitely a lot more difficult because you can't hear everyone in the right timing. They can't hear you either because you're muted. So as a percussionist, I have my own part that I'm the only one that plays it, and the rest of the band can't rely on that to keep time in a normal band practice.
What do you miss most about normal band?
So the wind ensemble is supposed to have 52 students in it, and the symphonic band has 80 students in it. And when you break it down into the different days and the different cohorts and the different sections, I'm only seeing at most about 20 students in any given class. So I really miss having the full band together. A lot of teachers might be like terrified if they had 80 students in their room all at once, but it's something I'm used to and something I look forward to, and I miss having the whole band all together in person.
Just hearing everyone else, which sounds obvious, but at home, even though we're putting together a piece, it's really not the same as being able to listen and blend with everyone else. The collaboration is one of the best parts of band.
I guess my friends, I don't see certain people on certain days now, and if it's all virtual, I'm not gonna see people at all.
I miss being able to hear the band as a whole. It helps with intonation, so I know how the parts line up, how the notes line up, and how the pitch lines up.
I just miss being able to see my friends and play live. It's a lot different. Being able to hear everyone in the band versus half the band that's in person and the other half you can't hear because they're virtual.
What are you most excited about for this winter concert?
I think it's going to be really great to see all the students all together, because they're practicing together in the different cohorts and the different classes, and this virtual concert, you're actually going to see all of the students on screen at the same time, and it'll be a really nice reminder for how big the bands are and how many students are actually involved in the program. We're also having the audio and the video professionally recorded and put together, so it's a really great experience for the students to work on a project like this, and it's something that they've never done before.
I'm most excited about actually just being able to put on a concert in general. A lot of places don't have the ability to record themselves virtually and edit everyone together, so it's really nice that Morristown's able to actually have a concert.
I'm most excited to hear all of our hard work be put into a final product, because we haven't had, at this point in the year, normally we would have a winter concert, so we would have to have a product, and to still be able to do that in a pandemic is really a big accomplishment.
Probably just to see all the hard work come together, to see everything that we've been working on for the past couple months finally come into one final product.
The first time that I'll actually be able to watch myself. So I'm excited for that. And also to see how the professional recording comes out and everything. So I think that'll definitely be interesting.
Excited to see the final result. I think we all might have thought that we wouldn't be able to put on a concert this year because of the situation. But I think it's crazy that we're going to be able to put together a full concert with everyone playing, and you'll hear everyone playing together.
So go check out the MHS band concert on December 17th. More info on that will be available soon on the district website. This concert will also feature the choir, orchestra, and fine arts department here at Morristown High School.